Hello everyone, Prime here. The Last Jedi movie will be coming out in a few days now, and with that, EA is banking on the hope and semi-promise that people will also buy Battlefront 2 in conjunction with the movie. Whether this will actually work out for EA, considering all the controversy, we'll just have to wait and see. But as of the question of whether the game is currently worth playing, we'll discuss that now. Progression is much better than it was during early access. EA has buffed the amount of credits that we received after matches, from daily login rewards and even the arcade. Prices of heroes also went down, and it has always been possible to unlock credits and crafting parts from completing milestones and challenges. But forget about challenges, because those rewards are pretty forgettable at best. Assuming that Galactic Assault is your favorite mode and you receive, let's say, 450 to 485 credits every game, with your average game lasting between 15 to 20 minutes, it shouldn't take you that much longer than a few hours to get yourself some loot boxes, and by some I mean about one. And that one should almost always be a hero crate. You would think that to level up your trooper, the best way to do so would be to buy the trooper crates. No. Your average trooper crate will cost you about 4,000 credits, whereas your average hero crate will only cost you about 2,200 credits. So you can do the math yourself. Also, you can get trooper crate items from hero crates, and hero crates do have a guaranteed drop of a certain amount of crafting points, and you can spend those crafting points on any star cards for trooper characters that you want to level up. And how do you level up, you might ask? Well, you get a certain amount of XP at the end of every game, and that XP contributes to your account level, but the individual characters, be they heroes, starships, vehicles, or troopers, are leveled up through whatever level your combined star cards are for that character. As you might be able to tell, the system is not very fun. So whilst buying hero crates is technically faster than buying trooper crates, the grind still exists, and the grind is still very much painful. Now, you will get a very nice hefty chunk of credits from completing the campaign, but let's be honest here, you're going to use those credits to buy Darth Vader, because quite frankly, that's a credit sink that you just couldn't avoid, really, let's be honest. Meaning you can forget about those easy credits, and as for the credits that you get from doing the easier milestones that will bump you up in credits, well, you'll be spending most of those unlocking the other heroes, such as Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, the Emperor, and so on and so forth. And of course, this assumes also that you're earning about 450 plus credits per match. Not every match of Galactic Assault, mind you, because you're not going to earn 450 credits at the end of a Blast or Strike game. You earn a little less from those modes. Galactic Assault doesn't always give you 450 credits. You see, the amount of credits you gain is based off of the amount of time that you spent in a match. And to make things worse, I'm not sure how much of a problem this is for console players. For PC players, AFK farming really isn't all that common, but the whole rubber band technique, I'm sure, is still fairly prevalent on consoles, as EA hasn't seemed to have cracked down on that yet. So there's that to consider. But you should bear in mind that if you're interested in hero modes, that technique destroys hero modes, because there are only 8 players in total, and if one of those players decides that they don't want to play, then you can see the severe disadvantage that you'll be at. So, yes. Now, there are a few tactics that you can use that you should be aware of if you purchase the game to get yourself some credits quickly, like entering a custom game, because you can create your own custom arcade game, and achievements aren't disabled when you enter this mode, so you can enter the modifiers however you want to enter them and still earn credits and milestones through the arcade system. Also, if you hop in very specific vehicles in the multiplayer, such as the various different tanks for the Separatist and Empire sides, the Republic gunship, you can rack up a ridiculous amount of points, and a ridiculous amount of points equals you're playing the hero this game. And if you play the hero this game, you'll probably have a decent enough score to get XP very quickly. And every time you level up, you'll get a good degree more credits than you would have otherwise received from just completing a match. It's the difference between getting 450 or so credits to 1,200 or so, 2,000. Some people have even seen 3,000 credits. The highest I've seen is 2,000. So, yes. Now, for the Last Jedi DLC itself, the heroes will actually be free for us, apparently. according to tweets from EA. All you have to do is log in during the Last Jedi season, which I'm sure is a lovely incentive to actually purchase the game, because you're getting the heroes for free just by signing in. Just like getting a daily login crate, which I suppose is a nice gesture. Can't imagine that they'll be doing that when General Grievous and Obi-Wan Kenobi are set to be launched into the game, but, you know. And to give us a bit of consumer confidence that we'll see them, EA showed off the number of devs working on extra DLC content for us. But I wonder, could that just be because they'd like to encourage potential new buyers that will be coming in from watching the new Star Wars movie? That Battlefront 2 is actually a decent game to invest in as someone who's interested in Star Wars? I don't know too much about how EA would possibly, what options EA could possibly have to, actually fund more DLC, but they have to fund it somehow. And whilst many people have been speculating that there's a good chance microtransactions won't be coming back into the game, and that this recent post by EA pretty much is solidifying that belief, I'm remaining skeptical, because it's EA, first and foremost. Just because they felt this seriously burning heat from some bad publicity, which is nothing new to EA, doesn't mean that they're just going to magically change their ways for realsies. Okay, they were willing to pretty much ruin the progression system through greed, so I think it's pretty silly to think that they're just going to turn a new leaf and we just trust them enough to do that. There are also some other imbalances that you might want to be aware of, because EA hasn't seemed to put all that much time into the game's overall balance so far, thanks to the fact that they've been worrying head over heels about progression. So on the larger maps, such as Hoth and Jakku, don't be surprised if you find yourself on Sniper Island. The Heavy's gun shield will probably upset you more so than anything else in this game, and it might feel quite unbalanced to you, so there's that to consider. And also the Heavy's TTK is one of the best in the game, so that sounds fun for you, doesn't it? And there are a couple more disadvantages between, the Enforcer classes for certain factions such as the First Order, but ultimately, overall, these are really just minor nitpicky things. The game is fairly balanced. When I say that, we're strictly talking about Strike, Blast, and Galactic Assault to a lesser extent. Heroes vs. Villains is not very well balanced. The lightsaber heroes just have a massive advantage over the blaster heroes, because the blaster heroes get caught up in a fight with a lightsaber hero, and the lightsaber hero only has to smack them in the face a bit. They're stunned, just like in the original Battlefront game, and all they can do is hopefully dodge for their lives and hopefully get off a lucky stun or explosive or just high damage anything. So hopefully pray that it kills the lightsaber hero, but in most cases, you'll die. And as for Galactic Starfighter, I did not want to force myself to even so much as touch that mode. I have no idea whether that's balanced right now or what's going on with that. I know that they have nerfed a few of the star card values for the fighters themselves, because some of them were a bit ridiculous, so actually might be quite in line now, but I suppose that's just a bit of a gamble you have to make. Now, of course, the last thing we're going to talk about is the promise of free campaign DLC. That's quite special, because you don't hear that every day, but if you've actually played this game's campaign, then you know that you're probably in for a bit of disappointment. Okay, so this is my obligatory spoiler warning. Okay, so the people who don't want to be spoiled should be gone. The first few missions are okay, introducing us to a boring protagonist and her slightly less boring but still somewhat cliché squad mates. After those 3 missions are done, the campaign makes no logical sense and character motivations feel stupid. Iden Versio, the main character, decides to defect after realizing how morally void the Empire is. This is a person who is in the Special Forces unit for the Empire's military that has no doubt seen firsthand what the Empire is capable of. Not only that, but she's played off as an extremely loyal soldier of the Empire. And yet, one incident where the Empire decides, oh hey, we're going to be mean to civilians and show no regard for life at all. And she's like, hey, I haven't seen this before, I didn't know the Empire was like this, blah 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 blah, morally, it's just unbelievable. The entire campaign feels unbelievable. Just bad writing, really. Now, why do I mention this? You've probably heard people cry about the campaign many times by now. But see, if this is the quality of the base game's campaign, how much better do you suppose the DLC can really get from a company like EA? Now granted, they don't necessarily work on the physical product themselves, but still. We still got a pretty, in my opinion, poor campaign with the base game. I'm not expecting anything from this extra DLC campaign stuff, so if you were just interested in hopping into the game hoping that the DLC would be good, campaign-wise, I wouldn't hold my breath if I was you. But hey, I mean, the game looks juicy and visually nice, right? One last question I want to ask though. What happened to the aim assist scroller? See, you used to be able to find this little option under the gameplay tab in the settings menu, but now it's gone on PC. Does this mean that the aim assist is something that we just can't turn off now and it's forced on for all players, or has it been removed outright? See, I'm not condemning DICE or EA for this because I have no idea, it's just gone and no one seemed to question this or ask where this slider has gone, so yeah, it seemed a bit peculiar to me. So there's that you might want to consider. And back to the question of should you get this game to join in with the new DLC? I believe the price has been reduced on the game, right? But there are probably much better games that are far more worthy of your time and money. I couldn't in any good conscience recommend this game. The progression is an awful slugfest grindy experience. EA's slip-ups are still kind of plaguing the game, still for new players as well as current players. Well, not actually too badly for current players, but new players, meh. The campaign, in a word, sucks. And, well, I suppose, hey, if you don't have this game, then I'd say watch some streamers play the new DLC content and let's just see how things go. There are some more changes and improvements coming out apparently this week, so we'll just have to see what those do to the game. I have no idea if it will actually fix the mess of a product that we currently have, because yes, it's still a mess. It's not as bad of a mess as it was in early access and launch, but it is still a mess. Don't let anyone fool you. So, yes. But we'll just have to wait and see. The devs have released a content map of all the content they intend to include, so you might want to take a gander at that to help you decide. And that's been the video. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, go ahead and leave a like and all of that good stuff. If you're new to the channel, I do mythology videos on different gods from Greek, Roman, Egyptian, Norse lore, and all types of other lore, so go ahead and check that out. They're apparently pretty interesting, and until the next video, have a very good day. I have been Prime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.